back out in the woods. Tell you what, let me just show you what I've got going on down here, and then I'll put it back on. So give us 2 seconds to flip the camera. That's my alcohol stove. Like I say, I use bioethanol as a means of lighting it, and my pan goes on top and relax. Cool, so that's what I've got going on today. Ooh, I've got a bit of muck in there. Let's start that again. Now normally when you're using an alcohol stove, a Trangia type stove, what you want to do is leave it a few minutes, well maybe a minute to get going. What that does is it's a bowl of water with an insulated wall with holes at the top. So as the bioethanol gets hot, it turns to vapour. That vapour goes up the insulated wall and out of the holes, and then it blooms and turns into a stove. You get a bit of pressure. Whether or not you do that during the time while it's cooking or not, like I say, some people say leave it. I find if I put it on, that creates a little bit of back pressure. It helps just a little bit. So I want to continue this whole idea of wild tea. There are loads and loads and loads of different stuff. We've sort of established that just wandering in the woods you'll find stuff. Now a lot of it is seasonal. Now I was hoping by beginning of June blackberries would have started to pod, and I'd have taken some tiny blackberries, and that hasn't happened. So I'm just going to make blackberry leaf tea. So it's not going to be blackberry tea. No idea how this is going to taste. So I collected some on the way in. Let's see if I can do it without stabbing my fingers. There you go. So I just collected blackberry leaves. They've got little spikes on, haven't they? There you go. I just ripped them up. That's not many. I've just dropped that in. Give that a little wish. Now, blackberries and blackberry leaf tea, blackberry berry tea has a lot of tannic acid in it. Now, tannic acid is an absolute killer for your liver. It doesn't do it any good whatsoever. So don't drink it a lot. It's a rare treat. It's an occasional thing. What it is good for is oral hygiene. It's good for sort of cysts and mouth ulcers and sore throats. So if you do find yourself out and about and you have some toothache or something, blackberry leaf tea is fantastic for sorting that out. But again, the tannic acid. Now, fortunately enough, you guys already know what a great cure for tannic acid is. And it's found in dandelion leaf tea, or dandelion tea. So the yellow heads, all the leaves, fresh shoot leaves. So not the big, bold one, just the little ones. We pop them in. So if you're having to deal with some toothache, do that for a couple of times, and then make sure you're balancing it out. Yeah, so that's Uncle Simon's safety tip for the day. Yeah, so my plan wasn't to come out to make another tea video. My plan was to come out to show you this guy. This is my favourite tree. I nearly said in the woods. It might be in the world. I absolutely adore this guy. He's a silver birch, and he's absolutely phenomenal. He's such a useful guy. In spring, just as the roots are soaking up water to feed the buds on the leaves, just sap runs through the body of this thing. And if you get a stethoscope and you put it against it, you can hear it's like a heartbeat of sap rushing up. So if you know how to tap, do it. It's amazing. If you don't know how to tap, please do your research first. Use your Google foo and get the skills first, because you can damage the tree. You can really hurt the tree. You can kill the tree if you don't do it properly. But the basic gist is you get a knife and you stab it like someone's done there. And you create a surface wound. You lift that out a bit, get yourself a twig, there's a twig somewhere, and prise it into the cut, and that'll just dribble along and drop off. Now if you were to hang a pot on the end of that, and it just collects, over about 2 hours, you'd get maybe an inch or two of really, really sweet water, fresh drink straight from it. You can boil it down and make syrups, you can cook with it and it adds sugar. I just drink it fresh, it's so refreshing. But once you pull your twig or your knife out, you've left an open wound in the tree, and it can get infected, get killed, can cause harm to the tree. So what you need to do is you need to close it, which a lot of time is just applying pressure to it while that sap starts to become tacky and sticky, and it'll seal it like a scab. So that's how you do it. I've been making videos now, be a year in February, so a year and a half. So I've had 2 sets of springs where I'm meant to come out and do this. But in Judy Woods, this is the only tree I found big enough to do it. There's a couple of thinner ones out the way. Now last year, if you watch my how to make a DIY camp stove, in the background you can actually see that I'm tapping there. I was going to come back the next day, I think, and do a video, but I didn't. And then this year, it was right at the time of lockdown, and we weren't allowed out, so I couldn't make it. So 3rd spring, it's my mission to come out and show you guys how to tap properly. So what else is it used for? The wood is so flammable, you can burn it even when wet. It's a beautiful, beautiful material. Collect it and you'll start a lovely hot, bright fire. It burns really quickly, so it's great for fire starting. And the bark's the best bit. So yeah, so the birch bark. So this stuff you can just peel in little strips. Yeah, you peel it in big sheets. If you do find yourself peeling off, please don't go all the way around the tree. The bark is where the moisture goes through. That's when we cut into it. We're cutting through the bark layers. That's how it gets the moisture. If you do a full ring, you strangle the tree and you can kill it. So I just wanted to show you how useful or how flammable it is. So this is a little tinder pouch I carry, and inside I'll have some silver birch, just like that. Now, if I add a lighter to it, straight away you can see the smoke coming off it. Yeah, that's all the oils and the tar burning. And that's how easily it lights up. And it's still burning just on the floor. There we go. And that's out and safe. So yeah, I mean it's something that the bark itself will take a spark. So it's not a particularly good place to demonstrate, but you get one of these ferrocerium rods, and when you draw a spark onto it, those sparks are hot enough. If they land on it, it will take a light. I did kind of want to show you, but to set the camera up in a place that I can demonstrate, it's probably less enjoyable for you than is worth doing. So I'm getting a bit of a boil on now. I'll just leave it a few more because, like I say, I don't know how good the leaves are going to be at flavour, how flavourful they are, so I'll let them boil down. I reckon, I'm excited about this, I reckon it's about time to give it a shot. So, excuse me while I'll just squat down a bit. So, where was that stick gone? That'll do, that's one. So, There we go. There's no coloration, there's no discoloration into the water really. It doesn't look to have added any flavour. Sorry, this must be really awful filmmaking. My media studies tutor will be screaming at me how badly that was shot. But live TV, what can you do? Let me get my water bottle. I'll just turn it down a bit, make it easier to drink. 1, 2, 3. Woo. Look at that. Oh, there is a slight green into the water. Doesn't have any smell, and I'm just gonna have a taste now. So let's see. It tastes like green tea. It tastes just like green tea. It's really subtle. There's not much to it. But yeah, you can get the astringency. You can taste on the back of your teeth. Yeah, that's really nice. Unfortunately, like I say, it's not something you drink very often. If you're wanting something astringent to have medicinal qualities, acorns and oakbark are a little bit stronger. So if you're out in the wild and you really have toothache, oakbark and acorns is probably more effective than this. However, this is so much nicer. Oakbark and acorns tastes very woody, very like you're drinking a tree. There's no two ways about it. It's not a pleasurable drink. However, really, really good for you. This, I can imagine just feeling a little bit achy, a little bit run down, sat around a campfire, and this just being like, yeah. I mean, there are drinks you can take out with you that'd be better, but that's kind of not the point, is it? So, yeah, I think we've done all right then. Obviously, in certain times of year, having the blackberries in it as well will give it a sweeter flavour, give it that lovely burgundy colour to it, and it's a pleasurable drink. That one, I wouldn't choose it. Knowing what's around in the woodland, knowing about the sort of the dandelions and the nettles and the spruce and the pine and the milkthorn and the hawthorn and the black. There's loads of other things out here that are much nicer teas to drink. But at a pinch, it's all right. It's better than just drinking hot water. Well, I'm glad you've joined me on this. It's been an experiment for me. It's been a journey. I've discovered something new. I can just see on my face how excited I am. So yeah, that's gosh, we're rocketing on. I'm going to leave it here then. I've taken up too much of your time as it is. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I certainly have. I'm sorry, I'm just really aware that I'm grinning now. But I just love this so much. I just, yeah, this is where we're supposed to be, right? So anyway, if there's anything you want to see outside, whether it's knot tying or setting up a shelter, a tarp, I can come out and get a cameraman with me and do something a little bit more exciting. Or if you just enjoy sitting here listening to me talk, I'm happy to do the same. So yeah, until next time guys, look after yourselves and each other. I'll see you tomorrow.